we got this crazy story that I came across. It is in Baltimore, of course, because crazy shit always happens in Baltimore. It's like fucking Florida. So you got this 17-year-old kid who is in high school, and this kid has nearly a zero GPA. The kid has something like a 0.13, I believe, GPA. And what's crazy about it, I mean, there's a lot of crazy things to this story, but what's even crazy is that in his class, he's ranked in the middle. Or actually, I think out of all of his grade, I think it's out of like 120 people, he is ranked in the middle, 62 out of 120, right? Technically, he'd be in the top half. That's wild. That's so wild, bro. That's almost like unfathomable to me. That you would have a 0.13 GPA and be in the middle of the class. That's insane. Yeah, people are saying how Sway, right? And we're about to jump into it. The school clearly failed him, right? Clearly failed him, but they are not the only ones to blame at all. The kid is to blame because we'll see that he was like skipping school, skipping classes, not even in school for like 200 something days. It's fucking crazy. That's totally within his control. So we're going to get into that when I play this video, because I'm going to go through and I'm going to play the video for you. So it's straight from Fox. And then also the mother. And the mother, I promise to you, the mother will place all of the blame on the school system. Right? All on the school. And while she is right in the sense that the school did fail, you are his mother, right? You weren't checking up on him for shit. So you definitely I would even argue that you share most of the blame. But we're going to go ahead and jump into this. So let me go ahead and start playing this video for you. When I start to play, please let me know in the comments if you can hear it, if we're all good. Oh, and also let me know if my mic is too loud or too whatever. So just let me know. All right, let's go ahead and play this crazy shit. Huh. All right. Let's go.
Tonight, an alarming discovery out of a Baltimore City high school where hundreds of students are failing.
As Project Baltimore's Chris Papps explains, we found a student who's passed 3 classes in 4 years and is ranked near the top half of his class.
We're not letting none of this get the best of us. All right? Be strong, son. We got this.
He's stressed, and I am too. Like, I told him I probably would start crying. Like, my son is, I don't know what to do for him.
This coming June is when Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma.
And I'm just trying to fight. He like, Mom, what was all this for? What did I do this for? Like, don't he get a chance? Do he get a chance?
But after 4 years of high school, this mom just learned her 17-year-old has to start over. He's been moved back to 9th grade.
Why would he do 3 more years in school? He didn't fail.
Why would he do 3 more years in school? Because he failed, right? He failed 1,000%. Again, the school did fail him in some regard, right? In much, actually. But he also failed himself by not showing up at this motherfucker, which they're gonna tell you in later in this video, and you ain't check up on him. So yeah, don't be placing all of the blame on the school. Yes, some of the blame is on the school. A third of the blame is on the school, but you are also, I'd say a quarter of that motherfucker, because you are the parent. It's your job to check in on your kid, right? It is your job. All right, go ahead.
So the school failed him. The school failed at their job. They failed. They failed. That's the problem here. They failed.
You hear her? She's not taking any blame.
They failed. He didn't deserve
None.
that.
France's son attends Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts in West Baltimore. His transcripts show in 4 years, he has passed just 3 classes, earning 2.5 credits, which places him in 9th grade. But France says she didn't know that until February. She has 3 children and works 3 jobs. She thought her oldest son was doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted. His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted to Spanish 2 and Algebra 2.
See, that's also another problem. That's also another problem. Passing these kids when they fail. And then when they reach, like, I guess 12th grade or whatever, instead of graduating, then they're like, no, you're just going to start all over. I never even heard of that shit. I'm going to be honest with you. That's not how we did it, like, when I grew up. I'm a millennial, you know what I mean? I'm not that old, you know what I'm saying? I was fucking 30. So, like, that's not how we did it. I don't know if it's just a Baltimore thing. I don't know if it's a new thing that is going on now, but why would you pass a student if they failed the class? You don't pass them. Now, this is their logic. So they're saying that basically, well, you know, we don't want them to be mixed up with kids that are super young, because you don't want to have someone who's like, 17 years old in 9th grade. Like, I get that, but here's the thing. You don't wait until a senior and then start them all over. I feel like that's worse. You know what I mean? I feel like that's worse. You need to reach out to these parents. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. Second of all, when you're talking about this, well, what did they say? They said, she said that she works 3 jobs, right? So she works 3. Hold on, let me come back over here. Where am I? She said that she works 3 jobs. Oh, this is where it's supposed to be. There we go. It's supposed to be like that. My bad. She works 3 jobs and she has 3 kids. I'm going to be honest with you 100%. I think that is super cool that you do work 3 jobs to provide for your family. But here's the thing. I don't give a shit, right? I think it's dope that you are doing what needs to be done to make ends meet. Totally. And I can even empathize. But that don't give you no excuse not to check in with your kids. I'm sorry. First of all, nobody told you to have 3 kids. Yeah. I mean, no one told you to get pregnant 3 times. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying abort them. I'm just saying, you know, you got pregnant 3 times. It is what it is. So, but it's your job to check up on your kids. I don't care how many kids you have. You have 1, 3, 5, 10 kids. It is your job as a parent to do that. You need to be checking in on your children. And yeah, where is the father? You know what I mean? Where, I mean, you got 3 kids. I mean, is it all by the same father? Is he in jail? Is he dead? Are you separated? Like, what's going on? I would need to know some more info, because if he is not dead or in jail, you know, kids need fathers in their lives. You know what I mean? Kids need fathers, especially young boys, right? They need a father figure in their life. So that's a huge problem, especially in like the black community, man. Like, that is a huge problem. I don't like to get racial. Like, I don't like that shit. It's a huge problem. But even more so in like the black community. So yeah, so you need to be checking up on, look, I don't care if you work 17, 18 hours a day, you need to put in time, 10 minutes with your son each day and find out what's going on in their life. Right? Where the fuck is the homework? You're not checking up on homework? You know what? My mom was terrible. Not a good parent in any regard. But the one thing I can say is she did ask to see my homework. You know what I mean? She definitely did ask to see that shit. Not all the time. But like, there are times that I remember where she asked me to see my fucking homework, make sure that I'm actually doing some shit. So that's like, okay, I give her credit on that. Like, come on. And my mom was not good. My mom was terrible. You know what I mean? This mother might not be terrible in every other sense. You know, she may be like not paying enough attention, but she may not be terrible in other things. So, yo, you got to do that for your kids. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and keep playing.
Doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted. His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted to Spanish 2 and Algebra 2. He also failed English 2, but was passed on to English 3.
I'm just assuming that if you are passing, that you have the proper things. to go to the next grade. And, the right grades, you have the right credits.
As we dig deeper,
Hold up. How do you know he's passing? How does she know that he is passing? Because, I mean, if you would know that he's passing, you would have to see a fucking report card. Do you not even check your kids? How do you not even check your kids' report cards, bro? How do you not check your kids' report cards? That's minimum. That shit comes out every quarter. At least when I was growing up, that shit came out every quarter. You get a report card, right? So if he's passing, are you just saying that he says he's passing? You're like, oh, okay, cool. The fuck kind of parenting is that? Like, or what you should be doing is he says, oh, okay, let me see your report card. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. Give me your report card. Am I bugging? Is that difficult to ask your kid for a report card? I feel like it's really not that difficult. Whatever.
Into her son's records, we can see in his first 3 years at Augusta Fells, he failed 22 classes and was late or absent 272 times.
272 times. That is why I am telling you that this is not all on the school. Yes, the school did fuck up 1000%. School definitely fucked up, right? And it's not only with this kid. I mean, he's in the middle, remember, and he's got a 0.14 or 0.13 GPA, and he's in the middle. So there are like another however many kids, 58 kids or whatever in his grade or his class or whatever, that are doing worse than him, right? They're doing equal or worse than him. So they're definitely failing. And we're going to get to the money part of this too, of how much money that they're getting, the school is getting. So you were absent or late 272 times. I don't know how it was when y'all were growing up, or if you are still in high school, because some of my followers are in high school, or if you just exited high school a couple years ago. But when I was growing up, if you were late or absent a certain amount of days in either the school year, I think, or like the period, like up until like winter break or something like that, then like you took an L. you failed. You know what I mean? Those classes failed, right? So that was kind of diva. I don't know why I did that shit. Let's do it that way. There we go. So yeah, you failed. So how the hell is this school allowing them to be absent or late 272 times and still passing these little kids? They're passing them to the next grade. They're saying you're failing the class, but we're going to pass you into the next grade. That is insane. That makes no sense. None. At all. So yeah, so it's not just the school's fault. He has everything that he needs. I mean, I didn't hear her in this video complain about any bus schedules or anything like that. So being absent or late, other than the bus maybe breaking down or maybe being late very few times, that's within his control. You just got to show up. You just got to show up. So yeah, let's go.
But in those 3 years, only one teacher requested a parent conference, which France says never happened. No one from the school told this mother her son was failing and not going to class.
Yeah.
France's son, in his 4 years at Augusta Fells, earned a grade point average of 0.13. He only passed 3 classes, but his transcripts show his class rank is 62 out of 120. This means nearly half of his classmates, 58 of them, have a GPA of 0.13 or lower.
He's a good kid. Like, he didn't deserve that. Where is the mentors? Where is the help?
You are the mentor. You are his mother. That's you, Dodo. What are you talking about? It's not like he goes to like a private school. Somebody can correct me in the comments if they look more into this and say that he goes to a private school. I'm gonna assume no, right? I think actually they said that they get funding through the government. So I'm pretty sure it's a public school. So Yeah, so it's a public school. You're not paying for nothing except for your taxes, right? You are the mentor. That's you. Or the father. Where is the father? That would be his mentor, right? You got a fucking uncle? You got somebody, some kind of male role model in your family or your neighborhood or something? Unless you're paying for one. They do have things, by the way. They do have like this thing. I think I came across this thing a couple of years ago, where it was like a Big Brother thing, and I don't think it even costs any money. I think that these people that probably around my age, like 30, maybe 35, 40, 45, whatever. They call him Big Brother, but really it should be like dad, absent father. But they go in and they like mentor kids with school, and they try and get them on the right track and things like that, which is cool. I mean, you could reach out to people like that, lady. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this woman did not put much effort in, man. I feel like this woman did not put much effort in. Look, again, I empathize that you're working 3 jobs, if that's true. I empathize if you really work 3 jobs. I totally get it. You got 3 kids. I totally get it. But at the end of the day, you are his parent. The school, the teachers, they are not his parents. The principal is not his parent. His friends are not his parent. You are his parent. That's your responsibility.
For him, I hate that this is happening to my child.
In your opinion, did the school system fail this child?
Absolutely.
This city school administrator who works inside North Avenue asked not to be identified for fear of retaliation.
That school community failed this student.
This administrator told Fox 45 News city schools failed because it has protocols and interventions set up to help students who are falling behind or have low attendance. In France's son's case, they didn't happen.
I get angry. There's nothing but frustration. We see on the news the crime that occurs, the murders, the shootings. We know that there are high levels of poverty in Baltimore. Things like this are adding to that.
These children are why I do this work.
Dr. Sonia Santelises was school CEO 4 years ago when France's son was a freshman, but she will not interview with Fox 45 News. Instead, we received this 2-page statement, which explains what should happen when a student is chronically absent or failing. The district says students received a letter about their academic status this past summer, and records can be accessed through the campus portal. When a student is absent, an automated call is placed to the number on file. The statement also said the school conducted recent home visits and the student's parent visited the school. But France says none of that happened. What this statement does not address is why France's son was promoted despite failing classes.
So somebody's lying, right? Somebody's lying. Either the school is lying or the mother is lying. Because they're saying that, look, she even showed up once. And letters were sent and they came to the house and whatever. So, I mean, that makes sense. Because I think every school is obligated to do, at least every public school, if I'm not mistaken, is obligated to do that, or at least had something like that in the structure of of how they operate. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they. I'm not calling her a liar. I'm saying one of them are lying. But maybe they didn't. That would be really fucking bad. That would definitely be troubling for that school. And with that amount of kids failing, I would not put it past this school for fucking that up. But yeah, I think that they say in here somewhere, unless I missed it already, something I could have sworn they said something about they get like $17K. I'm pretty sure they say that, something like that, like per kid. Oh no, it's like 5 million like a year or some crazy shit.
Doesn't discuss his class rank or the 58 other students with a GPA of 0.13 or lower. But it does say North Avenue is reviewing actions that impacted student outcomes at the school prior to this year.
It took a lot for me to just build the courage to do this.
If you were to talk to this mom, what would you say to her?
You know, I didn't have a hand on this student, but I work for city schools, so he is one of my kids. I would hug her and I would apologize profusely.
And he feels embarrassed, he feels like a failure. And I'm like, you can't feel like that. And you have to be strong. And you gotta keep fighting. You know, life is about fighting. Things happen, but you gotta keep fighting. And he's willing. He's trying. But who would he turn to when the people that's supposed to help him is not? Who do he turn to?
France has pulled her son out of Augusta Fells. He is now enrolled in an accelerated school program at another high school in West Baltimore. She is told if he works hard, he could graduate by 2023. And if you would like to read City Schools' entire two-page statement, we have posted it on our website, foxbaltimore.com. I'm Chris Pabst, and this.
I must have missed it, but I am almost certain that there was somewhere in here where it said that they get like $5 million dollars or something like that for the school. I must have missed it or something. But yeah, they're not like underfunded. So yeah, it's wild, right? It's freaking wild, man. By 2023, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I drop out. I get a fucking job. You know what I mean? I go after my GED, or you can do your high school diploma outside of there. I dropped out. You know what I mean? I went to a lot of high schools. It became very difficult for me to keep up. And not only that, like at the very end, I was going through a lot of crazy shit, man, with my moms and stuff like that. I just didn't give a shit at that point either. You know, I wanted to start working. I wanted to start doing that shit. So I dropped out and I took a test at the college for my high school diploma. And I think I was like 17 when I did that. 17 or 18. And I got my high school diploma up there at the college. So I just had to take a test. That was it. They're like, you need to study? I was like, I don't think so. Just give me the fucking test. You know what I mean? So, but they do have study materials, you know, for you there. I don't remember it costing me any money either. So yeah, I took a test, went there, and then I immediately took a college placement exam, and then they placed me in college. You know? Well, I didn't do it immediately. I went to college when I was, I think, 19. But yeah. So yeah, man, this is wild. So look, so I definitely empathize with this woman. I feel I get it. You work in 3 jobs. I think that that's a hustle, and I think that you're doing the right thing by doing that. I mean, I would argue that you should try and work on, you know, having one steady job that could do all of them. But again, like I don't know her situation, and it's unfair to really say that without it. I'm just saying like that's what I would do, and she may even be doing that. So so I'm not like counting that against her. But yeah, I get it. But look, man, at the end of the day, that is your kid. That's your kid. You know, you have to put in that effort. It doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever. You have to put that in. It's just not something that you can overlook. And this is why it's incredibly important to have 2-parent households. Incredibly important to have 2-parent households. Now, it's not always going to work that way. My mother was a single mother. You know, I grew up with a single mom. Never met my father in my life. So, yeah. My mom was terrible, though. But she did at least check up on my homework every once in a while. And she did definitely check up on my fucking report cards. I remember that shit. My grandmother, too, definitely checked up on my report cards. So, you know, this is the bare minimum that you got to do for your kid. But I would also tell her, look out to some Big Brother stuff, man. Like, you know, see if there are other mentors. And you got to get your kid to go to school. There is no excuse that your kid wasn't going to school. You know, she kept saying that the school failed him, which was true. The school did fail him. I'm not arguing that. But there are things that you guys should have been doing that were in your control. He didn't fucking show up. Right? 200 something days? That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. that's what, like 70 days he was in. What was he in there for, 3 years, or was he already a senior? If it was for 4 years, then you're talking about over 60 days a year that he was a school year that he was either late or just didn't show up. That's wild. Ain't no excuse. So so anyway, yeah, man, we had shit where like you would either have like, I don't know if it was Child Protective Services or somebody, like if you weren't showing up at school, like these motherfuckers would show up on your door, like police and shit too. You know what I mean? Like, why ain't your kid in school? So, I don't actually agree with that. I don't think that people should be forced to go to school by the government. I don't believe in that at all. I believe it's important to go to fucking high school and shit like that. But, I mean, you could homeschool. People can take tests and things like that. So I don't think you should be forced. But, I mean, I'm sending my kid to school. If I can help it, not public school. Send it to like a fucking private school, or at least like a magnet school, something. You know what I mean? I need something with a waiting list. You know what I'm saying? I can't just have any motherfucker show up there. You know what I mean? It's not nothing against the kids. It's that I don't know about them teachers. So I need something with a waiting list. You know what I mean? I need there to be high demand and low entry. That's where I want my kid to go. And I'm gonna put my kid on the list at birth. Soon as he is born or she is born, bam, I'm gonna be on that waiting list, waiting for 14, 15 years so they get into high school. So yeah, but drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And let me know what you think about this whole ordeal. I mean, do you believe that it was just the school's fault, or do you believe that the mother also had fault? Do you believe that the student had fault? Some people will believe that only the mother, or I'm sorry, only the school is at fault. And I feel like that is very, very, I guess, just common in not only just the political left, well, definitely political left, and definitely in like black communities, man, that I've seen, like in my own experience. It's just blaming everyone else for your problems except you. You take no blame. Even when other people are to blame, you take no responsibility when there is responsibility to share. Right? Now, that's not to say that conservatives can't do that. That's not to say that everyone can't do that, because everybody on the planet at some point, you blame other people. I mean, human beings like to blame other people for their problems, but it's so incredibly prevalent on the political left, man. And just, most black people are on the political left. So it's this mind state of, oh, they failed. They failed. I didn't fail my kid. I ain't do shit. She took up no accountability in that fucking video. None. Not a one. None. It's like, oh, it's the school's fault. Where were you, miss? Ma'am, where were you with them fucking report cards? The report cards! Shit comes out like every quarter. Kid comes home and says, oh, cool, I passed. Only thing you got to do, you don't just say, oh, okay, cool, son. Oh, great. I'm going to go back to doing whatever the fuck I'm doing. Right? You say, oh, bet, let me see your report card. If the motherfucker is skipping this many classes and ain't showing up, I'm going to say he probably ain't smart enough to forge his own report card. I don't think he's coming up with a great report card that he can forge on. I don't think that's happening. You know what I'm just saying. So, if he don't show up with one, there it is. I don't think your kid is some mastermind genius to where he's going to be able to come up with his own report card if you ask him, and he filled in his own shit. So that's all you got to do. And it sucks, man, because now this kid is going to be labeled the dumb kid. That's the worst thing you could, bro. In high school, that's like the worst thing, to be labeled the dumb kid. That's the worst. I would never want to be labeled that kid, ever. You know what I mean? High school, that shit is like a jungle, bro. That shit is like a jungle, and it's survival of the fittest. There are cliques, there are all this type of shit, and there is like this, I don't know, this social thing to where you don't want to look like the dumb kid. You just don't. Like in no circle do you want to look like the dumb kid. So, and now he is. That sucks. So my recommendation, drop the fuck out. Get some books from the library to study for your high school diploma test if you want to take that, or your GED. Go ahead and do that, because you talking about he's 17 now, about to turn 18. He ain't gonna if he tries his hardest, and this is somebody who was absent or skipped school 270 something days out of the year, or out of the course of his term. So not just in 1 year, but I don't know if he's the most reliable source to say that. I don't think he's the best candidate to say that, okay, well, if he does everything right, then yeah, he'll graduate in 2 years. I'm thinking it's probably going to be another 3 or 4. So, you know, I'd say just quit that shit. Just hang that shit the fuck up. Get your GED. Study for your high school diploma test. Go into a trade. Go into Job Corps. Do something like that. I'd say do a trade. Yeah, I mean, but if you want to go to college, you could take a college placement test. They got them. You could study for that. You know what I mean? So, anyway, that's all I got to say for this video. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I definitely appreciate that. I'm going to try and do more of these, like, 3 to 5 times a year. 3 to 5 times a week. I'm going to try and do that. Make sure you check out terribleconservative.com for some dope merch. This hat that I am wearing right here that says liberalism is cancer and fuck cancer, this hat specifically, I make no profit off of. All of this profit goes to a follower of mine. She's also a creator, a conservative creator on TikTok. And unfortunately, she has cancer. And, she fights it. She has to have many surgeries. She's had mmany surgeries. She still has more to come in the future. And a lot of it she has to pay for. And she doesn't have a lot of money to do so. So all of these funds go directly to her. If you purchase this, it comes in a beanie as well. Again, liberalism is cancer and fuck cancer. If you get this in a hat or a beanie, all of those profits go towards her so she can afford her medical bills and things like that. Chemo, all kinds of crazy shit that you have to go through, man. So definitely go and cop one if you are feeling generous and you are feeling charitable to help somebody else out. And yeah, other than that, again, guys, thank you guys for rocking with me. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this video. What do you think about what's going on with the school system, with the kid, with the mother, all of that? Let me know in the comments. And until next time, y'all be easy.